Okay, once again, a very warm welcome, my dear students, to our geography class. So, as you all know that we are dealing with the physiographic division of India. So, here in this part, we are going to discuss about the Great Indian Desert. Okay, so let's have a look into the map. See, this Thar Desert is hemmed by the Indo-Gangetic Plain in the western part, Aravalli Range in your southeastern part, and Punjab Plain to the north. Okay, Punjab Plain to the north and Rann of Kutch to the south. Okay, it occupies the whole of our northwestern Rajasthan, stretches into Pakistan also. Okay, it stretches into Pakistan. It is the low-lying plain covered by the sea of sand. Okay, the desert consisted of your low hills called Vakras. Okay, now this there are also the crescent shaped sand dunes. This is crescent shaped sand dunes or barkhans. We also called it barkhans. Okay, the average. Okay, and you all know that the many this are Indian deserts are covered by many saltwater lakes such as here Sambar, Patspadra, the Tal, Chappar, then Palodi. Okay, and among these, the Sambar Salt Lake is the largest saltwater lake in India. Okay, so this is all about the Great Indian Desert. Now next we will see the factors that is responsible for making a Thar a desert. Okay, which is a very crucial point of the topic. Okay, see the first point, the rainfall is irregular that receive less than 10 to 50 centimeter of rain annually. Okay, annually means your yearly. Then you see the Aravalli range lies parallel to the monsoon winds. Okay, Aravalli range that lies parallel to the monsoon wind and is thus unable to force the winds into this area. Okay, then another which is the another cause for prevents the formation of clouds and therefore lead falls on the land. Then another last and the river Luni is the river carries very little here, which is not in season. Okay, so the reason there is no perennial river. Okay, only the river Luni that also carries very little water. So for because of factors, there is the existence of the Great Thar Desert in India. Okay. Now let's have a look into the another physiographic division, that is the coastal plains. Okay, the coastal plains of India lie between the Western Ghats on the eastern and the western sides of your peninsular plateau. This is the coastal plain of our India. Okay, the coastal plain is again divided into two parts, that is western coastal plain and the eastern coastal plain. Okay, now we will first see the western coastal plain. Okay, the western coastal plain. Now see the western coastal plain from here only. The western coastal plain that lies between the Western Ghats. This is our Western Ghats. Sea is the narrow strait extending from your Gulf of Kutch to Kanyakumari. Okay, the part of the coast that runs through the Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Goa. Gujarat, Maharashtra and Goa is known as your Konkan coast. Okay, Konkan coast. Okay, the central part that passes through Karnataka is known as your Kannada coast. Okay, then the southernmost part passing through Kerala is called your Malabar coast. Okay, see, Malabar coast, the Konkan coast and the Malabar coast, very important, the coastline, the emergence. Okay, you see. Now next, now see, the short swift streams fed by the heavy monsoon rain flow into the Arabian Sea that forms a huge estuaries of our country. Okay, then the important ports in the western coast are here: the port of Kandla in Mumbai, port of Kandla, the port of Mumbai, then Goa, then Kochi. Okay, in all this, in this site of our Indian landmass. Okay, eastern coastal plain. Okay, see here. Okay, where's eastern coastal plain? Okay, see here, eastern coastal plains lies between your Eastern Ghats and your Bay of Bengal. Okay, it stretches all the way from your mouth of river Ganga to your Kanyakumari. Okay, and much broader. This is much broader than your western coastal plain. Okay, the river Godavari divides the eastern coastal plain into two parts. The number one is the northern Sarkars and another one is your Coromandel coast. Okay, this northern Sarkars, this part extends through your Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. This region, then this Coromandel coast part mostly lies in your Tamil Nadu region. Okay, this Tamil Nadu region. Okay, many rivers such as your river Godavari, river Krishna, Kaveri forms the fertile delta in the eastern coastal plain. However, as they also bring a lot of silt, a number of the good harbors on this east coast, the number of the good harbor on this east coast is fewer. Okay, some of these harbors are here Pradeep, Vishakhapatnam, Chennai and the Tuticorin. Okay, then you just remember one important point here, this Chilka Lake. Okay, the Chilka Lake in Odisha and the lake of Leru and this Pulicat in Andhra Pradesh are the brackish coastal lakes or lagoons. Okay, brackish coastal lakes or lagoons. Okay, the island of Sriharikota, which separates the Pulicat Lake from the Bay of Bengal, is used by the Indian Space Research Organization to launch the satellite. You all must be aware with the name of the Sriharikota. Okay, that island of Sriharikota, which separates this Pulicat Lake from this Bay of Bengal, is used by Indian Space Research Organization ISRO to launch these satellites. Okay, so this is all about our eastern coastal plain and the western coastal plain. Okay, you see the map, everything has been clearly shown and some data is there. You all can jerk down the points from here. Okay, the eastern coastal plains and the western coastal plain. Okay, now next we have the island groups of India, the great island group of India. Okay, now next we have the island groups of India. Okay, island group India has two groups of island. Okay, the one is Andaman Nicobar and another one is Lakshadweep Island. You all know that the Andaman and Nicobar is in your which part of the ocean? Bay of Bengal. Then Lakshadweep Island is in Arabian Sea. Okay, now we will see the Andaman and Nicobar Island. See, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands consist of more than your 300 islands. 300 islands. Most of these are the peaks of your submarine mountain chain. Some are barren island and are active volcanoes. You all know that. The Andaman and the Nicobar Islands separated. This Andaman and the Nicobar Islands are separated from the Nicobar Island by 145-kilometer width of 10-degree channel. Okay, most of the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands are uninhabited. The few that have the settlements are people mostly by the indigenous tribal group like here Jarawa and Ongi. These are the two islands group. They are settled in the Andaman and the Nicobar Island. Now island, okay, the Lakshadweep made up of about 36 islands. 36, okay, 36 islands that are coral in origin. Okay, they cover total area only for your 32 square kilometer. Okay, so this is Lakshadweep Island. So these are the two important island group of our country. Now the next we have the rivers of India. Okay, see, the many rivers flow through India, some mighty and some are small. The rivers of North India are different in some ways from the rivers of your South India. You all know that the rivers of the North India are perennial, which means they are, means there is a river in the water throughout the year and have water throughout the year. And the rivers of the South India are seasonal, that which means they have some more water during the rainy season and some of them run dry in the long summer months. Okay, most of the major rivers of here North India like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Godavari and then Krishna, they flow into of Bengal. Okay, many short swift rivers such as Sharavati and the Periyar in Kerala, they rise from the Western Ghats and flow into the Arabian. Okay, they are used for, these rivers are used for your generating hydroelectric power. Okay, see in this map the many important rivers of India has been clearly shown. You all can go through the map very properly. Then next we have, see, the rivers of the North India. In this table, all the information about the rivers of the North India has been given. You all can go through the table. Okay, the rivers, the source, the tributaries of that particular river. Okay, the courses, the river mouth, everything has been mentioned here. So I want you all to go through this table. And here are the rivers of your South India. And another important point here is what are the basic differences between the river of North India and river of your South India. Okay, this you need to understand. River of North India, this all are the perennial. Okay, I have highlighted the important points here. They are perennial. They get regular supply of water from the melting snow in summer as well as from the monsoon rains. But the river of the South India, they are seasonal. Okay, the river of North India built broad flood land. Okay, but the river of the South India, they flow in a deep valleys. They have got it into a, they have got in the plateaus. The flood takes place in the delta region only. But here in the river of your North India, what happened? The disaster floods can occur anywhere along their course. Okay, then another important, you see, as they are on the same levels as the field, water can be easily diverted into the fields for irrigation. But if you see the rivers of your South India, it is very difficult to water for irrigation. The strong flow can be used for generating hydroelectricity power, but it is difficult to use for your irrigation. Then you see the last important point of your rivers of your North India, they are navigable for the great distance. Okay, large boats and even the ships can sail along their lower course. It is easy to make roads and the railways lines along their broad valleys. But rivers of the South India, if you see the rivers of the South India, They are navigable over only over a short distance. They flow along the steep slopes and have rocky beds which cause rapids. And only small boats and the baskets boats, okay, you all can say the baskets boats can used on them. So these are the basic differences between the rivers of the North India and the rivers of the South India. Okay. Okay, so this much for the today. So we have covered all the important physiographic division of India over these 3 videos. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful for you. Okay, safe and happy.